Testing, testing, testing. Testing sound, everybody. All right, we're good to go. Welcome, everybody, to CanHammer TV. It is December 17th, 2019. Christmas is in 8 days, so if you haven't done your shopping, you better go do it. I spent all of Saturday doing Christmas shopping. It was surprisingly not that busy at the mall. And the most surprising part of it was I went into the Lego store and did not buy anything. That's pretty crazy. Hey, see Farsight, welcome. Yeah, I'm pretty into Lego right now. I just finished building set 42082. So if you're a Lego guy, you're supposed to know all the sets by the little set number 42082. That is the rough terrain crane. And that's that big crane that's probably like, it's like 3 feet long. It's like this high. At full extension, it's as tall as my daughter, and it can lift 1.086 kilograms so far is the heaviest thing I've lifted. So it's pretty impressive. It's motorized, and price per piece, it is way less than the little kids Lego. Anyway, off topic. I went into the Lego store, which is a brand new store in Ottawa here, just opened this just in time for Christmas, and literally did not buy anything for myself, but stuff for other people. So I was pretty impressed with myself. Yeah. Luckily for me, there's no game store to buy models at the mall, so because that would have been dangerous, but that was okay. So as you may have noticed, I am by myself tonight. As I announced earlier this evening, we had a scheduling mix-up with Colin. We're supposed to have Colin on tonight to talk all about CanHammer, which of course is coming up right after the new year. But he forgot that he was actually flying to Disneyland today. so he could not make it tonight, and that's fine. So we've rescheduled our CanHammer Bonanza pre-talk for the 23rd, so on Monday night. And so he's going to join me on Monday night to talk about CanHammer, and that works out great because that'll be our last live stream until CanHammer itself, as we take a little break over the holidays. So I will talk a little bit about CanHammer tonight, just to let you guys know all about it. I'm just going to pull up the website there, so it's ready to go. So we will talk about that in a little bit, and tell you all about it in case you've never heard of it, and you can enjoy it after New Year while you're still on holiday, probably for most people. That's the weekend before everybody goes back to work and school, if you have that time off. Otherwise, let me know what you've been working on in the channel in terms of hobby. So, people who know me know that I've been literally painting Custodes since that book dropped, which was almost fully 2 years ago now. And at first I was finished, then more stuff dropped, then I thought I was finished, then more stuff, points changes, more stuff. Then I thought I was definitely finished with the finalized Forge World rules, and then of course chapter proof dropped, some more stuff come, now I gotta paint some more stuff. Not too much. So I've been painting up my second Vexilla so I can run my double Vexilla list. So I had to make him different from the original Vexilla. So he has a Warden body, so he's got the robe, and the Vexilla looks slightly different. It's the one with actually the Wardens come with the Vexilla model, and the Guardian box comes with the Vexilla model, and the Vexilla is slightly different. So I got that one, and of course I had to magnetize him with the weapons and the daggers and the shields and all that stuff. So that's one of the models. And then I did bow to the pressure. Since I had extra Guardians and extra Wardens, I actually made 6 more shield guys. So 3 of them are normal Guardian models with sword and shield, and I made didn't have enough Guardians, so then I made 3 Warden bodies with shield and sword. Of course, the bodies are all interchangeable, so it doesn't really matter what body you use. And these guys have special shoulder pads, and they're kind of like the Sergeant Shield guys, so there'll be 1 of each of those. So now I have 9 shields in total. I have 9 spear guys, and I have lots of flexibility. My Vexilla guys are all magnetized for the various loadouts, and that's all great. I have like way more points now of Custodes. So I'm just finishing those guys up. Just sprayed the bases today, of course, because I use Dragonforge marble bases. People have asked me that before. That's why I use Dragonforge, the Sanctuary marble bases. Well, they're not marble, but I make them look marbly, and so I have a whole bunch of those extra. So I'm just painting those up. And yeah, continuously painting gold, man. I gotta tell you, I have skipped a lot of corners, cut corners on these guys. I no longer edge highlight every single armor edge with gold, 2 layers of gold, and then silver. Now it's a dry brush. And to be honest, when you look them right in front beside each other, original hardcore model painting, dry brush painting, can't really tell much difference, I gotta say. Everything's just shiny and gold. So that saves a lot of time. Then I just pick out details, hats and plumes and gloves and stuff like that, which still takes a lot of time. But certainly not having to triple layer all of the armor and every edge really saves some time. Yeah, so they look great. So if you let me know what you're up to these days. If you missed it, last night played my first ETC game against Francois, playing his Triple Knights and AdMech. It ended up being a way closer game than I thought it would be. It's the first time I played the new missions. He's played it a couple of times. And usually in ETC, the Custodes guy is the guy to eat the bad matchup, like Triple Knights, and to try and get 1 or 2 points. So I succeeded. It was a 16-4 victory. The total score was 36-29. I probably could have cut it a few more points, but so actually that was not a victory for me, but a pretty good outcome. Best outcome I've ever had playing Knights in ETC. ETC is hard for Custodes. We don't have a lot of mobility. Although the Maelstrom is much better now, it's still a factor for Custodes. Although I had a chance to take the game by the balls, but D3 damage just fucked me big time, and 2 Knights I should have died ended up surviving, and yeah. So still, it was a good game. It was close down to the last couple of turns probably. And so it was pretty fun. If you haven't played ETC, you should give it a try. There are draft missions published by ETC, so everybody can use it. Otherwise, you can download them from the CanHammer Team Tournament Facebook page. And yeah, speaking of CanHammer Team Tournament, that is February 8th, 9th. It's coming up. The list deadline is January 12th. The book deadline is the week before that. And I will be publishing the pack hopefully within the next week. Hopefully before Christmas, but otherwise right after Christmas, because I've written already. I'm just waiting for Chris and Jason to give me their final okay on the pack. The pack is really just the ETC pack, but we just clarified a few things and added in a couple of rules that we needed for terrain that ETC doesn't have rules for, but we have. So magic boxes, we're using the GW sealed Fronteris structure rules, and also needed to clarify one other thing we need to clarify. Oh yeah, and we are using the SoCal Open sort of, I guess is now officially ITC fits it sits rule for flying vehicles. So there's that. After Christmas, after Charity Hammer, in the new year, the first thing we're going to give away is this. So I have a Sisters of Battle Army Set box, courtesy of Dan at Red Dragon, our main sponsor. He is going to be, he gave me this, and we're going to give this away in the new year to somebody. We haven't figured out exactly how we're going to give it away, but there will be advantages for people who follow us. We will be giving this away after the new year. I was hoping to do it before Christmas, but we ran out of time. So we're going to be giving this away in the new year, so do stay tuned after Charity Hammer to figure out how you can win this whole battle box. It's pretty sweet. If you haven't seen it, you get a lot of models on there. You get a Penitent Engine, a squad of Seraphim, some Repentia, some Flagellants, Canoness, a bunch of sisters and some special weapons, cards, tokens, the not Destiny dice, whatever they're called, sisters dice, the data cards, the codex. The only way to get the codex right now, because there is no actual official separate codex to buy. So great box. Tempted to open it by myself, but I don't want to. I'm going to give it away instead. So that's going to be cool. That's going to burn a hole in my table over the holiday. Yeah, so that's basically been what's going on. I am now in Charity Hammer preparation mode. I don't know what people are bringing. I presume they're going to bring pretty hard-hitting lists. These are pretty bunch of high-end players, and I'm going to bring my best custodies list, and we'll see how it goes. So talk a bit about Charity Hammer. Charity Hammer is in its second year. It was just after Christmas. Last year was the very first one. I think raised somewhere like $8,000 for a children's charity near where Colin lives, which is in Seattle, kind of. And so it was pretty successful. At one point, I think they were at like 2,500 viewers. They were front page Twitch. It was really amazing, and I think there was only like 8 or 9 guys there the first time. This year it's massively expanded. Last year, we got involved. Can't remember how we got involved. It might be that I'm a Best in Faction podcast supporter, and Colin knows that I stream. And he was looking for a second stream. So they stream on Biff Pod, and they needed a second stream for Charity Hammer because they want to run 2 streams simultaneously. So I think that's how I became involved. And although I couldn't make it out there, I just lent them my stream, and they streamed the second stream on CanHammer. The second stream wasn't super high quality last year. The first stream definitely had the higher quality, and so it had the majority of the viewers. So this year, Charity Hammer 2 is going even crazier. I think he's aiming for 3 streams, but definitely 2 streams. And there's way more guys and participants. There's going to be what he's calling, let's look it up. So if you go to charityhammer.com, you're going to find all the information here about Charity Hammer. There is, of course, a donate link, which you should consider donating to. Every little dollar counts. It's to benefit Child's Play, which is a charity near him for looking after kids in children's and pediatric hospitals. Basically, that's who we're going to be playing for. It will start on Friday, January the 3rd at 2 p.m. and run all the way till 6:30, 7 p.m. on Sunday. So that's over 48 hours of continuous 40K. There's literally only minutes of break between all 48 hours continuously. On this website, charityhammer.com, you can find the schedule, what we call the marathon schedule. You can see the schedules for each stream. So stream 1 schedule, stream 2 schedule, and stream 3 schedule. And it's basically just continuous, mostly gaming, but there are some sessions on talking, strategy, there's a painting session, so things like that. So you should definitely check it out. Give you a list of people. The idea was to get as many top players in the ITC as possible to do a little hardest RTT in the world. So Jim Vessel, Richard Siegler is going, although he's now top of the ITC after winning Pro Tabletop. Nick Nanavati, John Lennon, Chris Blackham, Brian Pullen, Mark Perry, Colin, Zach Nelson, Alex McDougall. So we got a great number of Canadians there. Michael Timpe, JP Mowat, and JT McDowell. So these are people all in the top 150-ish of the ITC right now, including 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in the top 10. So it's pretty competitive. Then we've got me. Scrubs like me. We've got Chuck and Mitch, also from Best in Faction, his compatriots on the podcast. We've got Peter the Falcon flying in from the remote regions of Canada, which great to see Peter again. And we got Adam Camilleri from Down Under Network coming all the way over from LVO. Coming all the way over from Australia, I think mostly for LVO, but stopping in Seattle for Charity Hammer, which is great. I haven't met Adam personally, but we have swapped shirts. He received a CanHammer shirt from Chris at ETC, and he's bringing me over an Australia ETC shirt. So that's super cool, and we will be playing, I believe, as well. And then there's some local guys, Harrison and Denny Page, and some guys who are around there just to help out. Some of us will be helping to run the streams as well when we're not playing and doing the commentating things. So it's going to be really cool, super awesome lineup. So everybody's question on their mind right now is, who am I playing, right? That's what everybody wants to know. Well, I'm not playing any of the big names because people don't want to see me playing big names. Let me see. My first game is going to, so so on that Friday, for example, the first game is going to be Richard Siegler versus Brian Pullen, the two top Tau players. And then we're going to have Jim versus Richard, top 1 and 2 ITC playing. Then we're going to have a couple Canadians playing. So, and then, the RTT goes off. So, this is just an example of what's going to be happening. I think my first game is actually at 3 a.m. on the Saturday morning. I'm actually playing Danny McDevitt. And then the next game is, let me see. I think I'm on the third stream on the Friday, actually, at 6 versus Adam. And then I just have to look on the 3 different streams. And then I'm playing somewhere in there. I'm playing Zach Nelson. And then I'm also playing somebody else. Yeah. Anyway, I got 4 games, which are going to be on stream. And I'm going to try and play as many games as I can. I'm going to bring my camera. I'm going to try and film as much content as I can while I'm out there. And it's going to be fantastic. Of course, all the games, if you can't watch them, will be on BiffPod and CanHammer. Whatever ones we stream will be on our channels, and then I'm giving all of my stuff eventually to go into BiffPod channel as well. And then I'll be publishing videos and stuff of the stuff that I filmed there. So it's going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. I'm super looking forward to it, and it's going to be great. Going to be great. Super great. Probably going to be pretty tired, but it's going to be worth it. So I won't say too much more about Charity Hammer except to check it out, www.charityhammer.com, and please consider donating. The link is live to donate now, and it's for a great cause, and you're going to get so much high quality Warhammer that you won't be able to watch it all. So that's cool. And tune in on Monday, on the 23rd at 9 p.m., CanHammer TV, we'll be talking with Colin all about Charity Hammer. So it's going to be amazing. Okay. So the intent was not to go for too long tonight, just a little filler episode. On Thursday, I will be podcasting with Chris. We will have, I think we're going to be joined by Francois, if he is confirmed. And yes, he is confirmed. And we will be talking about 2019 year in review. This is what we usually like to do at the end of the year. Talk about the year in Warhammer. Things that we liked, things we didn't like. Favorite units, favorite models, favorite releases. Stuff like that. Good moments, bad moments. And so we'll be doing that on Thursday night. And so it should be good. It's always a fun show. The problem now is really trying to remember what's come out. There's so much stuff. So I was thinking, okay, well, how can I figure out what came out this year? Well, there doesn't seem to be anybody who has a list. So I went onto the Warhammer community website and I just started to go load more to go back on the posts. And I filtered it to 40K. And I just go load more. And by the time I clicked load more 50 times, I'd only got into November. So I'm like, that's not a very efficient way to go back and see what's been released this year. So I don't know a good way of finding that out. If people have an idea, please let me know. Because I'd like a way of just seeing a list of everything that was released and when it was released. But I think it's going to prove too difficult. So we'll just have to take it off the top of our heads. Tomorrow, we are going to post up about that podcast tomorrow, and on that thread, we want you guys to put down, what your favorite models were, units were, releases were of the year, your highlights, your lowlights. Let us know. So that might jog our memories, but also we'll talk about what other people liked as well. So it'll be a kind of all-inclusive. And of course, if you're watching live on Thursday night, you're welcome to chime in as we go. So that will be pretty fun. I always like reading and listening to year in review type things at the end of the year, not just in Warhammer, but everything. So it's pretty interesting. So that'll be Thursday. And then that is, other than the cast with Colin on the 23rd, that will be it for us for the holiday, I'm traveling away to Toronto, so there will be no live streams between the 23rd of December and Charity Hammer. Um, and Charity Hammer starts on January the 3rd. So people can take some time and rest. We'll be taking time and resting and being with our families. And then the next thing you know, it's going to be 48 hours of hardcore 40K in your face to kick off the new year. So, and in January, I plan to continue with ETC practice, 1 to 2 games a week leading up to CanHammer Team Tournament in February. That'll be cool. And then after that, we'll go back to ITC and we'll see what's what. I'm super excited about next year. I think the first thing we're going to get is Dark Angels and other stuff. And so I'm super excited to see what Dark Angels get. We've been discussing in the Custodies Collective a lot of rumors and maybe some more than rumors about what we might be getting. So it's super exciting. I have this great sense of anticipation for next year for 40K, just in terms of Charity Hammer and the channel and releases. I think is very exciting. So I'm excited, and I hope everybody else is excited. And that's about it. So Space Wolves updates. Yeah, like I think, Blood Angels got it. Space Wolves are going to get it. Dark Angels are getting it. Everybody's going to get it at some point. And it seems like the stuff is pretty good. So I think it's exciting. Everybody should be excited for the next year. I think it's going to continue to be great. That's about it, really. If anybody has anything that they want to talk about, let me know. I'll give it a few minutes. But I just wanted to do a little cast because I said that I would, and talk a little bit about Charity Hammer. I can't up this event enough. A, because we want people to donate, and B, because it's just so it's amazing. I wonder if we'll make Twitch front page again this year. That was pretty impressive. At the same time, there was I believe there was like a Warhammer, like a live, like Warhammer TV was live streaming, and we just like stole all their views. And there were so many people coming into the Twitch chat who had never seen Warhammer played live before, but just clicked off of the Twitch front page and were like, what the hell is this? What game is this? Like, this is cool. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it looks cool. Like, what's going on? And so hopefully we can reproduce that. I'm sure we'll reproduce that again this year and really kind of get people talking about this game. And I think if we can get the quality of commentary up as well, I think it's going to be pretty engaging. So I'm super excited about that. Like I'm going to play at least 4 games, maybe try and play a couple of games in between, but the rest of the time I'm going to try and be on the chats and just kind of pushing things forward. So it'll be cool to hang out with Peter again. So yeah, that's super cool, and looking forward to that. That's about it. I'm still looking for a box. So 5 Gene Stealer Cult Acolytes and 1 Weber. If you have those things, please let me know. I'm still looking for it, although I'm not sure what I'm doing with the Gene Stealer Cult army right now, because it's kind of in disarray after chapter approved. Nobody really knows what's happening. So let me know if you have those though. K.R. Quinn, welcome. Yes, it was just a short one today, but I can stay on and talk here for as long as you want. That's fine. I like talking to myself. But it was just a short one because we're supposed to have Colin on today, and unfortunately he had a scheduling conflict, and so we're going to do that on the 23rd. Custodies player own all the stuff. Hard to win competitively now. 3-2 is more like it. I hope we get some love. Yeah, I think we're just like all the other books that don't have new stuff yet. I think if you have a good list and you play very well, you can do 3-2, 4-1. You can go pretty well depending on what your local meta is like and if you plan for it. But it's tough right now for everybody who doesn't have a book, right? So we're no different really. Nick Blackburn, welcome. Short flight to LVO with me afterwards. No, sorry. LVO is like, so I used to want to go to LVO. Now I'm not so sure I want to go to LVO. It just seems too big and crazy, and like a long way to go. It's like 4 days, 5 days, whatever. I've been to Adepticon, so I can just imagine the LVO is even crazier than Adepticon. And it's like, yeah, I don't have this huge need to go to LVO, to be honest. I'd rather make the trip out to Charity Hammer. Um, so definitely, I might go one day when my daughter's older. We'll go as a family, but yeah, for me, it's not a huge priority to get myself to LVO. But I hope you have a good time, Nick, and represent well and do well and play well and have a good time. But yeah, not really for me. Have you thought about GSE Soup? Yeah, so I've been talking, as you know, I'm a coaching client of Nick's. Nick has basically given up on GSC. And I've been talking a lot to Dustin Henshaw, who of course still plays GSC and is playing GSC probably for ETC. And so he's running a crazy bike list, like loads and loads of bikers, kind of like Frankie used to do. And of course, I just bought the models that I had. Like I just bought an army from Hank. I didn't really buy it from scratch. So I'm kind of adding things here and there as we go. Part of that army was like 20, 30 aberrants, and so now that's kind of screwed. So I think there may be some play with Tyranids. What's funny is I don't own Tyranids, but I own 120 Gene Stealers. This one of the first things I did in 8th edition was buy 120 Pure Strain Gene Stealers. And it was a CanHammer, a Capital City Bloodbath like 3 years ago. Me and Phil played the doubles. I played like 60 Gene Stealers and he played Tyranids. So that's pretty funny. So I could run like the 40 Gene Stealer Tyranid detachment with the Swarm Lord and some Ripper Swarms. Just borrow Phil's Swarm Lord and Ripper Swarms. And then cracking it up and run that with some GSC. Probably just exactly probably what I'm going to do. Just for the channel. It's not something that I'm going to take to tournaments or whatever. So I think that's what I'm going to do, that kind of, Kraken Gene Stealer GSC combo. And then just for funsies, it's a hard to play army, so I don't expect to do much, but, just for the more casual games. I really bought it for the channel. I really wanted to buy GSC when it first came out, but it's so freaking expensive. I think it was like $3,000 for like an army from new, which is crazy. So so I waited, and then Hank was like, "Hey, we want this army for $400." I'm like, "Sure, let's buy this army." KR Quinn, you really think Venatari are horrible? You just finished 18. I'm really going to try and make them work. Still think the pistols are Space Marine killers. Want to try to? I'll try anything. Yeah, the Venatari is fine. Yeah, any 2 damage weapon is a Space Marine killer. The Clades is really good at killing Space Marines. There's just equally good things at killing Space Marines that have better than 3-up save. I really wish that like their big advantage for them is they have jump packs, so they move 12, and that they are infantry, so they don't run into the same problem that bikers do, which is they can't charge through buildings. So that's really good. That's something we really sorely need. And maybe if they got even cheaper, it would be better. But man, their durability is really not good, and they actually don't kill as much as you think. And that's annoying. And it would be fine if we had a bunch of other units and their job wasn't to kill anything. But everything in a Custodes army, when you only have 15 models, 16 models, needs to do a couple of things well. And so you can't like, yeah. So, most of the time they're on their invul anyway. While that's true, it's mostly against Marines that's true, not against everything else. And so there's plenty of stuff out there. Las, a squad of 10 guardsmen shooting 40 las gun shots at you is going to make you cry. You're losing like 48-point models to like 4-point models with 4 shots of las guns. That's going to make you cry. And that stuff is out there still, like Marines is big, but it's not everything. And as more books come out, Marines will not be as popular. They'll still be the most popular, but so you gotta think a little bit ahead. And so it's still a problem. And at the end of the day, they just don't kill as much as you want them to kill. Whereas other things in our army do kill a lot more. So I just think it's a little bit against them right now. It'd be cool if they had the normal spears like the Guardians have. Then at least they'd be able to kill more stuff in combat. Um, but yeah, I have 6 Venataris. I've played them a few times, and they'll sit there till they get a bit better. But see, Farsight, you're working on the same list. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to play Dustin's list because I don't want to buy like 20 bikes. It's going to cost a freaking arm and a leg, and that was the whole point of buying this army, was to not spend that much money on it. So I think that's what I'm going to do, since I have all these Gene Stealers that I have not been able to play since the beginning of 8th edition, and for some reason I never sold them. So I still have 120 pure strengths. So I like to do that. The other side of things, I still got to do the Sylvaneth army. I might actually let my daughter paint it. I let her paint a Marine the other day, and for a 5-year-old who was super, super hyperactive and super active, she actually sat there for like half an hour and very carefully tried to paint this Marine. It was pretty impressive. So I might let her just knock out some contrast paint onto my Sylvaneth models and go to town. That would be kind of cool. And when she gets older, maybe she'll want to play that army. Who knows? But I certainly don't have the motivation to do that Sylvaneth right now. It's all sitting there ready to be primed in these boxes. And then I got the GSE, of course, which I do want to paint and try using contrast paint for. I just got to find some more acolytes, and I got to finish these freaking custodies. Freaking custodies. Kara Quinn, you are good friends with Juice, aka Stephen 4, and his GSE in the closet. Yeah, I think all the big GSE players stopped and went to Marines, basically. I don't know what Juice is playing, but Nick went to Marines, John Lennon went to Marines, Juice put his GSE away. Everybody just couldn't put it away. So there's lots of stuff right now, and maybe Gene Stealer. I presume Gene Stealer Cult will get their book too, probably later in the cycle, since they are a pretty recent codex. So and then they'll be probably back in it. So who knows? That's just the circle of life. That is the 40K competitive scene. Literally just a circle. Around and around we go all the time. The only thing that hasn't come back around in the circle is the Wraith Knight. Thank God for that. But yeah. People forget about Knights. Knights are still a thing. Knights are out there. Chaos Knights just starting to sneak in now. TJ and his Chaos starting to come back. So, I think you're going to start to see a lot of Chaos now. They've gotten a lot cheaper, and they've gotten all these new rules. And of course, Chaos always has the advantage that everything gets souped together. And not only do they have factions, then they have gods, and everything is in there. So I think Chaos is going to make a big comeback. Eldar just as strong as they always have been. Seer Council is strong right now. Eldar Flyers barely got touched. I don't know if you're going to see the flyer list as commonly now, but Eldar, with Dark Reapers getting cheaper, Shining Spears cheaper again, Eldar is just as strong as they always have been. They still have the strongest psychic powers, and that just is a big equalizer. They're super strong. So Eldar is super strong. Watch out for Eldar. Man, Eldar has never been bad. I can't remember when, and since I've played, Eldar has never been bad. It's really kind of annoying. Just need Eldar to be really bad for 3 months, just for funsies. Tau, of course. Tau is always the nemesis. I hate Tau. Tau is like the worst. I hate playing against Tau. I hated playing Tau. I hate Tau. And they're so strong right now because those drones are just obnoxious. So yeah. So that's where you're at right now, really. Marines, Eldar, Tau, and probably Chaos, and then everything else. Guard can't really do that well anymore. Pure Guard. Knights is still the gatekeeper that it always has been and always was, and probably always will be, because that's what you get if you're running just 3 or 4 big models. I'm still waiting for the triple Astraeus list, which I probably bet you anything will show up at LVO. Triple Astraeus, that's super Space Marine super heavy. Yeah, it's just a thing. I think if Dark Angels get good rules, I think you're going to see a massive influx of Dark Angels players returning, because their characters are still good. They were just overpriced, and now some of them are cheaper, and if they get rules, then I think they're going to be good. I think Black Knights maybe got just cheap enough to really run, but if they get more plasma-related rules, or if Raven Wing gets better rules layout, or Deathwing, or any wing, to be honest, but if it's not just playing like Space Marines that are painted green, I think you're going to see a lot of Dark Angels players come back out of the woodwork. Same with Space Wolves. Wolfen got cheaper. Their Thunderhammers are not 40 points. And if their Thunderwolf Cavalry can be made good and their characters all got cut, I think Space Wolves can be very good. You can guarantee they're going to get crazy numbers of attacks. If the Blood Angel freaking Intercessor can start with like 7 base attacks, Space Wolves are going to be pretty similar. So that's cool. I'd love to see all these other Marine factions back on the table. Yeah. I mean, it's going to depend. If Ravenwing gets good, I'll probably bring my Ravenwing army back. I don't have a lot of Primaris, like Greenwing. And I don't have any Deathwing. So really, it's probably just Ravenwing or maybe some Greenwing. I mean, I got like Aggressors and all that sort of stuff. So I don't have very few Intercessors. So I think you're going to see those because there's so many loyal players for those non-Codex chapters. And so I think you're going to see that if they get decent. If they don't get decent, you're going to see a lot of salty tears. Which will be pretty funny as well. The Tyranid tears have been pretty funny. But, yeah. Anyway, we won't know really. Probably after Charity Hammer, for sure we'll know. Maybe we'll even get some early peaks right after New Year. But, yeah, super excited for next year. Super excited. Okay, well, I think I've droned on for long enough. I will thank you guys for watching. Do tune in on Thursday for our year in review. Watch out for the post tomorrow where you can put your thoughts on the year in review in there. We'd really love to hear it, so put it in there and join us on Thursday night. And then join us on Monday night for our chat on Charity Hammer with Colin before Christmas. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and see you next time.